Okay, so I wanted to quickly talk about this build right here. This is my $350 mini ITX gaming PC that I recently put together, and honestly, it's already one of my favorite builds so far. One of the reasons for that is simply the form factor. I mean, just take a look at how small this build actually is. But usually ITX builds end up being more expensive compared to traditional ones because the price for small form factor parts are usually a lot more. However, just like in my previous ITX build, I was able to build this for even cheaper. But before we get into it, I just want to clarify one thing, that this video is not a build guide. I'm not saying you can go out and build this PC for yourself because a lot of the parts in this build are used. The used market is very unpredictable and really depends on your location and your availability. This is just me showcasing what I was able to put together with a little bit of patience and good deals. Now with that all out of the way, let's get right into the build process. First, let's start with the motherboard, where I was able to pick up the MSI B450i Gaming Plus Max for $105 on Facebook Marketplace. Now, this motherboard is definitely on the older side, but it's still a solid option for an ITX build. One of the biggest advantages of going with AMD is that older chipsets still support newer CPUs, and this board can run up to the Ryzen 5000 series with a BIOS update. There weren't many cheaper ITX options out there, and considering ITX boards are already expensive, I think this was a pretty good deal. It has decent features, built-in Wi-Fi, and works perfectly for this build. To pair with the motherboard, I went with the Ryzen 5 3600, which I picked up used for $50. Now, I've used this CPU in a previous build, and that's because it's still a great budget option. It's a 6-core, 12-thread processor, which is more than enough for gaming and even some light productivity tasks. For RAM, I went with the Team Force Vulcan Z 16GB DDR4 3200MHz kit, which I grabbed for $30. It's nothing crazy, but it gets the job done. 16GB is still the sweet spot for gaming and general use, and 3200MHz is a good speed for Ryzen CPUs. I could have gone with 32GB, but for a budget build, that's not really necessary. For storage, I picked up a Team Group 1TB NVMe SSD for $52. Now, I always recommend going with an NVMe drive over a SATA SSD if the budget allows, because the performance difference is very noticeable. A 1TB capacity is plenty of space for Windows, games, and programs, and at this price, it was a great deal. Plus, I've used Team Group SSDs in a lot of my builds, and they've always been super reliable. As for the case, I went with the SGPC K77, which I grabbed for just $20. This is a minimalist, compact ITX case that keeps things simple while still allowing for decent airflow. It's not the most premium case out there, but at this price, it does exactly what I needed to do, fit all the parts, and keep everything cool. This case is also incredibly small, and especially without a modular power supply, it makes it quite hard to fit everything in here. If you do get a case that is similar in size, I would recommend purchasing custom cables, as it will make the build experience a whole lot better. Speaking of the power supply, I actually reused the same one from my previous ITX build, the Fractal Design 450 watt small form factor kit, which I got for $35. Normally, I don't recommend buying used power supplies since they're one of the most important components in your build, but in this case, it was in great condition, and since it's a small form factor unit, it will work with this case. It's not modular, meaning every cable is permanently attached, so managing the cables is pretty much non-existent. But at this price, it works as a decent solution, and I plan to purchase a better unit soon. Now for the most important part of a gaming build, let's talk about the GPU. I was able to pick up an RX 580 8GB for just $50, and I recently made a video on this entire card, so I'll leave it in the description below. And I know that the RX 580 is getting pretty old at this point, but for budget gaming, this card is still a great performer. It can handle 1080p gaming well in most modern titles, especially if you tweak the settings a bit. You won't be running games at ultra settings, but if you're okay with low to medium settings, this card can still put in work. Given how expensive GPUs are these days, getting an 8GB VRAM card for $50 is quite a steal. And with that, our build is now complete. This entire PC costs just $342, and for a mini ITX gaming PC, that's insanely cheap. ITX builds almost always cost more than regular ATX or even micro ATX builds, but with some patience and good deals, I was able to keep this one well under $350. For benchmarks, performance is actually pretty decent. In esports titles like Fortnite, Overwatch 2, and CSGO, we're seeing around 160 FPS, which is great for high refresh rate gaming. With some setting tweaks, we could push this even higher, and the only game that really dips below is Warzone, but that's expected since it's already more demanding than the rest. For heavier titles like Marvel Rivals and Starfield, I had to use FSR hard to keep things playable. Starfield actually held up well at around 69 FPS, which was better than expected. Marvel Rivals though sat at around 53 FPS, which isn't great, but still impressive considering this is a $300 build. Temperatures usually sat around 70 to 80 degrees, which is completely fine for a gaming build. I could improve this by adding an exhaust fan, but space is already quite limited in this case. Another upgrade would be to simply get a larger case, which I can add a lot more fans. However, finding one for around the same price at $20 would definitely be a challenge. And I mean, if you're looking to build something small, affordable, and still capable of playing modern games, this build just proves that you don't need to spend a ton of money. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.